Sports presents Benning Bites with Damon Benning. Benning Bites with Damon Benning.
Another episode of Benning Bites. We are here for you however you get us, Apple, Google, Spotify. Just make sure you're a part of what we do. I love it. Well, basically, if you like it, we love it. That's the thing. So hopefully you like us. Coming up on the show, it'll be pretty busy. Ravi Lula will be joining me for kind of a little bit of a stretch. My man AR, Andrew Rogers, will be on hiatus. Got a wedding in Punta Cana, right? Rough. But my man Ravi will be joining us here shortly. Yesterday, a pretty spirited show. I imagine, full disclosure, we'll probably, I don't know if Ravi's going to want to get at me. He listens to the show quite a bit. And we spent the first hour basically talking about if it's good for the goose, why isn't it good for the gander, right? If you want Draymond Green to be held accountable, why can't we all be held accountable in the moment? Because that was basically the standard that we wanted Draymond Green to adhere to. Hey, you're in the moment. This is what you're doing. This is how you should have acted. We didn't say much about Sabonis. We didn't also say much about those administering the punishment. It seemed like we were bent on making sure that they took into account Draymond Green's past history. And I'm like, well, if we're all supposed to stay in the moment, are we all supposed to stay in the moment? But maybe only some are supposed to stay in the moment because history says that's just what they do. I don't know. Where do you come out on it? One game, be must win for Golden State, that's for sure, or they're in big trouble. How's that for a hot take? Hey, but yesterday, we talked a lot about Coach Satterfield and quarterback play and what's expected and expectation levels. We talked about leadership. We heard from Teddy Prohaska, who talked about, making sure that guys can hold other guys accountable. And I've talked about this a lot. What happened to the player accountability where we receive it well? Or if that's your culture, you're not going to bat an eye at it. You just won't. It'll be part of the deal. You got a player that is kind of exuding model behavior and you're on, and he or she can tell you about it, and you've got to be able to receive it. And I think there's some importance to that because we've heard it forever. Well, the best players or the best teams are player-led teams. Yeah, I get it. You have to allow that to happen, and it starts in the off season. So hopefully Nebraska's on the right track when it comes to that, because I'm telling you, in crunch time, when it comes to player accountability, the coaches can't do it for you. Coach Rule can put you in all the situations they want. Coach Satterfield can talk about not turning the ball over in crunch time. Coach White can talk about making tackles in the open field in crunch time on 3rd and 2 or 4th and short or whatever it is. But at some point, players got to hold players accountable and be allowed to do so. There's freedom in it because not everybody can lead at all times. Sometimes in the moment, sometimes you got to be a good follower. And you have to be willing to allow yourselves to be led. So that's definitely something to watch unfold as this season unfolds, as we see what's in store for this football team as they try to get over the one-score bugaboo. The best one-score loss team over the last 4 years. And guess what? Nobody cares. They just don't. It's a results-oriented business. You're either winning or you're losing. And unfortunately, Nebraska has been doing a little too much losing. But one other thing before I let you guys go, because I'm not sure, and I asked rhetorically, and then it turned into a whole different kind of conversation. Coach Solich coming back, you fine folks know that is something that means a ton to me. Talked to him yesterday morning. He actually called. Had to step out and take a call because I'm not sending that one to voicemail and just trying to figure out when we're going to meet today or tomorrow before the spring game. He's got a couple of events. He's a busy man. But what's the expectation level? Because I really don't know. I didn't have the courage to ask him, but do you want him to speak? Do you not want him to speak? Is it a hand wave? Is it a, hey, thanks for being here? He'll probably have a little presser, get that out of the way. But what are the expectation levels? it was hard enough to get him back here. Is that good enough? I hope so, for his own sake, because I really don't know. I don't know what he'll be willing to do, what he won't be willing to do. I didn't have the heart to ask him to come on the show, even though he kind of volunteered. But that's a hard interview for me, and so selfishly, I just didn't know if I could pull that off. Are you guys, is that weird that I kind of lacked confidence with that? Just because, and I'm curious to get your thoughts. Is that, like, what is that? Is that me? Is that respect? Is that, is that fear? I just didn't think it'd be appropriate to put him on that stage, even though we'd have the opportunity to do so. Is that weird? 'Cause, remember, I'm the same guy that said, Taylor Martinez doesn't enjoy speaking to the media. He shouldn't have to. He's not good at it. He shouldn't have to. People would push back. No, that's the quarterback. He's got to talk. Some would say, I get it. Let's not put him on stage just to poke fun. So I don't know. I'm kind of a softie. Where do you guys come out on that? Should I force the issue? Especially if somebody offered. But again, selfishly, it's not an easy interview for me either. Because then I got to stay in the moment, and I gotta be present and not be emotional. I don't know. I may be kicking myself over that one. But guess what? Since it's only Thursday and you guys let me know, I'll have time to change, because I think he'll be on standby because he'll be in Omaha on Friday afternoon. How about that? A lot happening. Make sure you stay with us. We'll always keep you informed. We're not going to bat 1,000, but we'll be right a heck of a lot more than we're wrong. And we'll be right more than anybody else is out here. That I can guarantee you. It's a morsel, a nugget, a bite, if you will. They're mine. So it's Betting Bites.